In this piano tutorial, we will be learning how to play The Best in Me by Marvin Sapp in the key of B flat major. And this song was requested through the comment section. So again, if you have a song request, feel free to leave a like in the video and comment down below with your song, okay? Now this song, the good thing about this song is that it has one progression that repeats throughout the whole song. So this gives us the freedom to experiment with different passing chords and substitute different chords here and there, okay? So if we think about just the progression of the song, it starts off on the 4, then it goes to the 3, then a 6, then a 5, 1, and we're back to the 4, and it repeats again. Of course, there's different chords that you can add to this progression that basically expand the progression a bit more, but those are more viewed as passing chords, okay? So let's start off on this first chord. On the 4, we're playing an E flat major 9 13th chord, and an easier way of visualizing this chord is I take E flat and the 5th, and I think about the 3rd or the major 3rd of E flat, so 1 2 3, which is G, and I make it a minor 7th chord, okay? And that's how we get E flat major 9. Of course, we can add more extensions to this chord to make it the way that I started it. I like doubling up on the F and also adding, if we think in terms of this chord, we're adding the 13th right here, a C. Right, so that's how we get that chord. So he saw the best in me. This is part of the original song, this movement right here. There's different dynamics that you can add to the song to give it a different feel, okay? And you can capture these notes from the screen. Now the next chord is a 3 chord, but the way that it's voiced in this song, it's basically as an altered chord. And this altered chord is composed of basically 2 triads. So we're doing this D7, and I'll explain how to the fingerings for these chords. So it's first a D7 on the left hand and a B flat on the right hand. So that's our 3 chord right here, and that's how we get that D7 sharp 9 sharp 5, or D7 altered. But the way that I voice it to give it a fuller sound is like this, and the left hand just plays D and F sharp. Now for the 6th chord, we're playing a G minor 9th, and this chord is just a G minor with that open voicing and an F sharp in that second an F, sorry, in that second inversion, okay? So once again, he saw the best in me when everyone else is around. Now from that 6, we go onto the 5 chord, which is the F minor 9, okay? And this F minor 9 is very similar to this G minor 9. We basically just went down a whole step with each note, okay? So we went from here down to here and down to this F minor 9. Now the next chord is a 1 chord, and the voicings that we use for this one, it's a B flat 7 13 no 5. We can either do this voicing or this voicing, B flat 9 13th, okay? To land back on that 4 chord that we can voice in whichever way feels comfortable to us now. So he saw the best in me when everyone else could only see the worst in me. So that's basically that first progression. Now let's go back onto that 1 chord, right? We either had this one or this one, and there's a different chord that we can substitute for this one. And the way that I approach it is I'm thinking about that tritone. So if I go down to the tritone, which is E, we can use E as a substitution, but the voicing for this substitution matters a lot. So the voicing that I'm using is basically this E9 sharp 11, okay? So we were on this 5 chord here, and what I basically do is go down from F to E, and these 2 notes, I just bring them down in half step, right? And then I land on that 4 chord. So, could he's all the best in me, everyone else around could only see the worst in me. And it's a simple substitution that you can also use in any other 5-1-4 progression, right? This is a 5-1-4 progression, or we can substitute it for something like that, okay? Could only see the worst in me. Now this movement right here that I'm doing is all based around that 3 to 6 progression. And what I did here was I'm alternating between B flat and C minor, and I'm just going up in the inversion. So second inversion, second inversion. Now we're in the root position, and once we land on this root position, I'm using the same voicing that I used before, right? This D7 on the left hand. So then I go back down, and then I play this grace note right here. So again, different substitutions for the same progression. Now, remember how we said that this altered chord was a combination of a D7 and a B flat? What happens if we switch up some chords on the right hand? For example, now let's play an A flat in second inversion. It's still an altered chord, but instead of a sharp 9 sharp 5, we have a flat 9 flat 5. Right? And we can also use that as a 3 chord to go onto the 6 chord, okay? Also, remember how I said there's extra chords that we can add to the simple progression from the beginning to use as passing chords as well. There's a 2 chord that we can also add, and it's also part of the original record that comes before the 5. So we're on the 4, then we go to the 6, then a 2, and the voicing for this 2 is a C7 in combination with a G minor, okay? And that's how we get the C9. Then we're back to the 5, 1, and 4. Now, there's a second part in the song where there's a very small substitution. Instead of playing a 4, we play a minor 2. And it's in the part that says, he's mine and I'm his. So, we play a 2. He's mine, I'm his. It doesn't matter what I did, for he only sees it more. also something that you may have noticed while I was playing this example, I included a passing chord before that too, right? So now that the chord that we are using is a 2 as opposed to a 4, what I do is use a 5, the 5 of 2, which is a G, right? And I used it as an altered chord to go to the 2. So what I mean by this is we were playing, he's mine and I'm his, it doesn't matter what I did, for he only sees me for who I am. Oh, right? So, he's mine. Now there's a different progression that we can also use for that progression from the 3 to the 6. We can also do something like a 7-3-6. For he only sees me for who I am. Right? And it's also dependent on the melody, so it might not always work, but it's a different another option that we have. We can do a A7 as a 7 chord, then a D7 flat 9 as a 3 chord, and then we're back to the 6, okay? So it's different ways that we can approach the same progression, okay? So what I'm going to do now is play throughout the whole song without any interruptions, a little bit improvised, so forgive any mistakes that I may make, but I hope you can learn something else and that we can grow together through these videos, okay?